Hi everyone! Welcome to the Brazilian Portuguese Week. I'm so happy to be here with you guys today. Let me know if you guys can see me and hear me well. Let me know in the comments. I'll do my best to read your comments and answer your questions in this class. I'm so excited. I'll be with you during the entire week. During the entire week, I'll teach one live class a day. So today is the first class and the last class will be on Saturday. I hope you guys can join me during the next classes too. So I would like to make a few announcements before we begin the class to explain how this Brazilian Portuguese week is going to work. I want to give you some instructions so you take the most out of this course, okay? So let me see who's here. I see Emiliano, Olá, Cristola, Sara, Jacob, Franco, Verônica, Joseph, Chris, Ryan, William. Oi, tudo bem? Thank you guys for joining me. So first thing that I would like you to know is that today is a beginner level class. That's why I am speaking in English, because I want everyone to understand me. But this class will also be useful for intermediate level students as a review. So if you are already intermediate or advanced, don't feel discouraged. This class will also be useful for you. Okay, we are going to talk about verb conjugations, an introduction to verb conjugations and how verb conjugations work in Portuguese. I prepared a very clear class about how this works in Portuguese, and I hope this will be useful for you. I'm going to share my screen with you because I want to show you the entire curriculum of this class, of this course, this week, and also show you how you can download the material for the class. Okay, so you can study and do the exercises after the class, which is very important for you to assimilate the content. Okay, so just give me 1 second. Let's go to... Okay, so here, if you haven't signed up yet on the website, I recommend you do so, because you can watch this class on YouTube, but if you want to have access to the material, you need to sign up. It's 100% free, so just go to the website brazilianportugueseweek.com and sign up, so you have access to replay of the classes and also download of the material of the classes. Okay, so this is the curriculum we are going to study this week. Today is the first class. We're going to study verb conjugation. So I'll talk about a lot of details related to verb conjugations and important terms that you need to know, and the most important tenses that you need to know in order to speak Portuguese. Okay, and tomorrow we are going to talk about two past tenses in Portuguese. So it's actually a continuation of this class. It is also about verb conjugation, but most specifically about these two past tenses, which I know it is a very complicated topic, especially for English speakers, because there is no imperfect tense in English, right? If you speak Spanish or French, it is not too complicated, because these two tenses also exist in Spanish and French and maybe other Latin languages, but in English they don't exist, so I know it is confusing. So I prepared a lesson for you. I'm going to explain in detail how to use these two past tenses, so don't miss tomorrow's class. Day 3 will be on Tuesday. We'll talk about pronunciation, and I'll help you with the most difficult sounds in Brazilian Portuguese, which is nasal sounds, right? Which are nasal sounds. So I'll talk about all the details related to nasal sounds, and I'll help you to practice and pronounce the words correctly, okay? Day 4 will be on Wednesday. We are going to talk about verbs that require the use of prepositions. Okay, there are many verbs in Portuguese that require the use of certain prepositions. Some verbs can be used with many different prepositions. So this class will be about this topic. I'll explain how to use the most common verbs with prepositions. Okay, so all these 4 classes are beginner level. I'll be speaking in English, but I'll give you a lot of examples in Portuguese the entire material is bilingual, so you have Portuguese and English. And as I said before, these classes are also useful for intermediate level students as a review, and maybe you can also learn something new, okay? Because I'm going to explain a lot of details about these topics, okay? On Thursday and Friday, classes are going to be exclusively for intermediate and advanced students. I'll teach these two classes entirely in Portuguese. So if you are intermediate level student, don't miss these two classes. Thursday, I'm going to speak about subjunctive mood. Guys, all the time my intermediate level students ask me questions about subjunctive mood, so I prepared an introduction to subjunctive mood. We're going to talk about the three subjunctive tenses that we use: present tense, imperfect, subjunctive, and future subjunctive. So it's going to be a very complete class about this topic. And on Friday, I'm going to talk about some expressions, idioms in Portuguese. So I know this is also a topic that students ask me a lot. Oh, how do I say different expressions and slangs? So let's talk about this on Friday. So Thursday and Friday classes, intermediate level, 100% in Portuguese, okay? And the last day of the week will be on Saturday. This is going to be a class useful for everyone because I'll basically talk about tips, how I study languages. As you guys probably know, I'm passionate about languages. I also speak Spanish, French, English, obviously, and I'm learning German now, which is the biggest challenge so far when it comes to learning languages. I'm very passionate about it. I use a lot of tools, and I want to talk about this with you guys on Saturday, okay? I'm gonna give you a lot of tips and answer your questions so I can help you to learn Portuguese either by yourself or joining a course as you prefer, but I think these tips are gonna be useful for everyone, every level. Okay, so this is the curriculum of classes. Classes are going to last about 1 hour each class, okay? I might stay a little longer to answer questions if you have a lot of questions, okay? So this is the program. Don't forget to sign up to download the worksheet, the lesson guide, so you can study and review and do your homework, okay? So now I have a second important announcement, which is about my new courses. If you guys follow me for a while, you know that I only open enrollment for my courses 3 or 4 times a year. So now my courses are open for enrollment. I opened it this morning. And if you are interested in learning and studying Portuguese seriously in a regular course, I recommend you join one of my courses. And this time I'm offering 3 courses. So I'm going to talk very briefly about them. I don't want to spend a lot of time talking about my courses. I just want you to know that you now have the opportunity to sign up for my courses. So this is the place where you go to sign up. It is school.speakingbrazilian.com, school.speakingbrazilian.com. You see the options here. You see the Brazilian Portuguese Week, which is the place where you can download the material. So this is my beginner's course, the essential course for beginners. If you want to have the links, teacher Patricia, she's in the chat talking with you guys, and she's going to share the links with you. Okay, so you guys can go to the website and take a look at the courses, and also to sign up for the Brazilian Portuguese Week and have access to the material. So teacher, look for Patricia in the chat. She's a teacher. She's been working with me for a few months now, and she's helping me in this class to answer your questions and send you all the important links that you need to have. So my beginner's course is a very intensive course. It is recommended for complete beginners. If you have never studied Portuguese before, this course is for you. You are going to learn everything you need to learn, like at essential level, everything you need to know to evolve, to advance from beginner to pre-intermediate, intermediate level. This course is also excellent for those who have already studied a little bit, but still need to, review the basics. You're still not confident about the basic content. So it is a very good course to learn and review everything, all the essential content. There is a lot of content in this class, and during 12 weeks, you are going to have live classes with a Brazilian teacher, either with me or one of the teachers of my school. The live classes, they are entirely interactive. So you can see a picture here. So classes are held via Zoom, which means all students have video and audio, so you can really speak Portuguese, ask questions. The classes are all small, 10 students more or less in each class, so you really have the opportunity to practice a lot of Portuguese and learn a lot in this course. Okay, so this is my beginner's course. You can sign up, go to school.speakingbrazilian.com to sign up. Now, my intermediate course is called Speaking Brazilian Academy. I love this program so much. I have students who are with me for a long time now. I have students who signed up over a year ago, and they're still part of the academy. The academy is not a regular program. It is a membership program, which means that there is no beginning, middle, and end. I offer you a lot of material for you to study for yourselves, and you have, in addition to the material, you have conversation classes every week. So this is very useful for those who already know all the content, all the grammar, but you need to practice, right? When you're learning a language, you need to speak. So this is the course that you're looking for if you want to speak. Okay, if you want to speak Portuguese with a Brazilian teacher, a native speaker, and also a lot of other students in the same level as yours. So this course is recommended for intermediate level students and advanced students. The course is 100% in Portuguese, focus on conversation, but we also review a lot of stuff, important stuff like new vocabulary, advanced grammar. You can practice listening, you can practice writing. It is a very complete program with focus on conversation and trying and helping you to become more fluent. Okay, so this is my intermediate course, Speaking Brazilian Academy. You'll find more information on the website. And there is a new course. I promise I'm almost done with talking about my courses. So this is new. It is called Pre-Intermediate Workshop. Why did I create this workshop? Because I realized that even those who have already studied all the beginner content, sometimes you are not ready yet. You don't feel ready yet to join a class 100% in Portuguese. So I created this course as a brush-up course. You're going to review everything you need to know in a very practical way, speaking and doing a lot of exercises. So the pre-intermediate workshop is for those who are in the middle. You're not a beginner anymore. You already know all the main tenses and basic vocabulary, but you are not intermediate yet. You are not comfortable joining a class 100% in Portuguese. So what would you do? So this course is for you, okay? And one important additional information for you, you have no idea which course is the best for you. I recommend you take my placement test. So the placement test, I'm going to correct the test. Actually, Patricia is correcting all the tests for me now. And we are going to recommend you the best course for you, okay? So if you don't know which course is the best for you, take the placement test and I'll help you to decide which is the best course for you, okay? So I think I talked a lot. I'm just gonna show you where you can find the placement test, or maybe Patricia can share with you the links. If you go to speakingbrazilian.com and you click here in courses, you'll find a placement test, okay? And then you can take the test and we are going to recommend a course for you. Muito bom, gente. Okay, so enough about my new courses. If you have questions, I'm going to answer your questions about the course at the end of the class. And I have one last announcement, which is at the end of this class, I'm going to do a raffle of a pronunciation coaching session. So stay with me until the end of the class and you may be a winner. So I'm going to choose one person from the audience to receive this gift, this pronunciation coaching session with me. We are going to choose someone from the audience. It's going to be, oops, I changed the table. So it's going to be a raffle. We're going to choose randomly. So don't go away. Stay until the end. So maybe you can be the winner of this raffle. okay? So let's get started. I'm going to share. I see you guys have a lot of comments. Thank you so much, guys, for writing all those comments. So I'm just gonna see if I find some questions to answer. So Alicia is asking, time zone of the course. All my courses are on Eastern time, basically, specifically New York time. Okay, so if you see on the course, you see all the options for the live classes. They are all in Eastern time, New York time. Okay. What else? Hey, Alexandra, tudo bem? So the other teacher in my school is Alexandra Turner, guys. She's also in the chat. You can talk to her in the chat. Okay, I'm looking if I see more questions. Okay, so let's start the class and let me know if you guys have questions. Any questions, just write a question on the comments. I'm going to share now the material of today's class so we can get started. So today the topic is Introdução à conjugação de verbos. Introduction to verb conjugation. Okay? So what does it mean? What conjugation of verbs mean? It means that a verb, it changes, right? When you conjugate a verb, you have to agree the verb with the person, with the number. There is a different verb tense and a different mood. In Portuguese, we have 3 moods. So I'm going to first start explaining what these terms mean, because I know it can be, when you talk about grammar, it can be a little bit confusing, right? All these weird terms, but I'm gonna make this very simple for you guys. So the first term that you really need to know is pessoa, person, pessoa. So when you conjugate a verb, you need to pay attention to that. In Portuguese, we have seis pessoas. We have the first person singular, eu, I, eu. The second person singular, tu, you, tu. Third person singular, ele ou ela. Primeira pessoa do plural, first person plural, nós. Segunda pessoa do plural, second person plural, you, plural. And third person plural, terceira pessoa do plural, eles ou elas. Elas. So in Portuguese we have they plural, they masculine and they feminine. Okay, eles, it means they masculine, and elas means they feminine. So this is according to the grammar, but you probably noticed that it's not exactly like that works in real language, right? In spoken language, right? So in Portuguese, there are 3 main things that you need to know about pessoas, about persons, like in verb conjugation. The first one is that in many places in Brazil, the pronoun tu was replaced by the pronoun você. Você. So I never use tu, I always use você, which also means you. Okay, in some places in Brazil, it is a little bit more formal and tu is more informal, but in many places, it means exactly the same thing. So tu means você, same meaning. The conjugation is different, but the meaning is exactly the same. And the conjugation for você is much simpler because it is exactly the same conjugation for the third person singular pronouns. Ele, ela, você. Same conjugation, okay? So for beginners, I really recommend you use você because it's easier to use. You don't have to memorize one more conjugation. Just use você, okay? But you see that there are places in Brazil, people in Brazil who use the pronoun tu. In the south, in Porto Alegre, Rio Grande do Sul, everyone uses pronoun tu, and many other places in Brazil also use tu. So it's really like both pronouns are really used, but for beginners, I really recommend you use pronoun você. It's easier, okay? Number 2, we colloquially, we also have a different pronoun for nós, we. Nós, it is used a lot in Brazil, but it sounds a little bit more formal. Colloquially, informally, we use a lot the pronoun phrase a gente. a gente. A gente means the same thing as nós. It means we, but it is also conjugated in the third person singular. So, same conjugation, guys, para ele, ela, você, a gente. Same conjugation. So, this makes your life easier. You don't have to memorize a different conjugation for each one of these pronouns, the same. So this is good news, okay? So I recommend, especially for beginners, that you use the pronoun você instead of tu, and that you use the pronoun a gente, the pronoun phrase a gente instead of nós, because it's simpler and easier to use. Of course, for intermediate level students, I recommend that you learn the conjugation for all the pronouns, okay? And the third point that you really need to know, it is that the pronoun vós, the second person plural, does not exist anymore in Brazil. We don't use it at all. We don't use it in spoken language. We don't use it in written language. You will find this pronoun in old literature and in the Bible. So maybe some people also still use it in the church because it is in the Bible. But we don't use it at all in language, like in communication with other people, okay? So just forget about this pronoun, ignore it exists. It's just good to know that it exists because you might see it somewhere, but not easy to see. It's not common at all. Muito bom. So let's see how the pronouns really look like today, like normal, regular spoken language in Brazil. So first person, primeira pessoa do singular, eu. Terceira pessoa do singular, ele, ela, você e a gente. Same conjugation. Primeira pessoa do plural, nós. Terceira pessoa do plural, eles, elas e vocês. Vocês. So you still have the vocês for a plural you. Okay? Muito bom. So it is very important to know this because when you conjugate a verb, you need to use a very specific conjugation for each person. Okay? So let's see one example with the verb ser. Ser means to be. So let's see. Eu sou. First person singular. Eu sou. Você é. Ele é. Ela é. A gente é. You see, we use the same conjugation because, so here's is or are, because it is the same person. So it's third person singular. Você, ele, ela, a gente é. Okay, so it's the same conjugation in Portuguese for all these pronouns. Nós somos. E vocês, eles, elas, são. São. So here all these three pronouns also use the same conjugation. Okay? I hope this is clear. Let me see if you guys have questions. I saw a few questions, but so there is a question here. In Mozambique, is it essential that we learn voz or is it still unnecessary? That's a very good question. I'm not sure. I have a student who lives in Mozambique, but I've never seen her mention this pronoun. As far as I know, the pronoun voz is not used at all in Brazil or in Portugal, but I cannot say that 100% for sure. We would need to ask someone from Portugal, but I don't remember if they use it. In Brazil, we don't use it at all. Let me see more questions, guys. Looking for your questions. So, Ivo asks, so it means nós vamos, a gente vai? Exatamente. It's a very good example. Ivo, nós vamos has exactly the same meaning as a gente vai. The only difference that a gente vai sounds more colloquial, okay? This is the most common use. We use this a lot. A gente vai ao cinema. We are going to the movies. A gente vai ao restaurante. So we use this a lot. Muito bom, Ivo. Let me see one more question here, guys. So many comments. That's amazing. Okay. So, pergunta. Danamus is asking, in Portuguese, don't you use the opening question, the question mark? No, we don't. This is different from Spanish. In Portuguese, we only use punctuation at the end of sentences. We don't use it in the beginning as we do in Spanish, only at the end. Very good question. Okay, guys, so now I'm going to continue. Keep writing, asking questions. I will answer your questions in a minute. So let's talk very briefly about modus verbais, because this is a very, it's a more advanced topic, so I don't want to talk a lot about it. I don't want to confuse your mind, you know, I just want to talk briefly about it so you understand and you know that this exists. So just let me get some water. So, what are modus verbais? So modus verbais, they tell us the way verbs are expressed. I know it doesn't make much sense, so let's see examples. For example, we have three moods or modes in English. We have modo indicativo. It is used to express facts and certainties, something that is certain, that is happening, that happens. So when you're talking about your things that you do every day, for instance, it is indicative mode, okay? Because it is something that is certain, it is a fact. Por exemplo, eu estudo português, ok? Eu estudo português. O modo subjuntivo, so the subjunctive mode, it is used to express doubts, desires, possibilities. So it is not certain, you don't know. So we use it a lot with the word talvez. Talvez means maybe, maybe. So every time you use this word, you are going to use subjunctive mode because it is not certain, okay? So, talvez eu viaje ao Brasil no próximo ano. Maybe, talvez eu viaje ao Brasil no próximo ano. There are past, present, and future tenses in subjunctive mode. We are going to talk about this in the intermediate level class on Thursday, okay? And we also have modo imperativo. Imperativo. Imperativo is used to express demands, requests, or to give advice. Por exemplo, entre, por favor. Please come in. So you are like making a request, right? Or it could be also a demand, depending on the case. So this is imperative mode. The conjugation is a little bit different, okay? So today we're not going to talk about all this, it's too much. We only have like 1 hour class. So we are going to focus on modo indicativo. And now we are going to talk about tempos verbais, verbal tenses, and the most important tenses in modo indicativo, okay? So tempos verbais, they indicate, they express the time, okay? So when an action takes place. So when, that's why it is called tempo verbal. In Portuguese, tempo also means time, so it doesn't make much sense in English, but in Portuguese, tempo means time. So it's a verbal time. It talks about the time, so when an action takes place. Por exemplo, presente, passado, futuro. So every time we talk about present, past, or future, you're referring to tenses, right? To tempos verbais. We have 5 main verb tenses in Portuguese in indicative mode that you need to know, that I want you to know. And we are talking briefly about these 5 tenses in this class. I talk in detail, I teach in detail all these 5 tenses in my beginner's course, the essential course for beginners. We will finish this course knowing how to use all these tenses in detail. But today we're going to do like a very quick overview of these tenses so you understand how they work, okay? So let's begin with tempo presente, presente. So o presente is the most simple one. Presente, it is used to talk about our day, things that you do regularly, right? Things that you do every day. So it is commonly used to talk about your routine. Por exemplo, eu acordo cedo todos os dias. Eu gosto de caminhar no parque com o meu cachorro. You can see the translation if you need to read the translation on the screen, right? Então, eu acordo cedo todos os dias. Eu gosto de caminhar no parque com o meu cachorro. Note that I use these both verbs, acordar and gostar. They are both regular verbs ending AR. And all regular verbs, they follow the same structure, the standard of conjugation. So every time you conjugate a regular verb for the first person, right, primeira pessoa, the verb is going to end with the letter O. Acordo, gosto, okay? So I have a question for you. I want you to practice. So I've been talking for a long time and you haven't done anything yet, so now it's your turn. I want you to practice how to answer this question, to practice present tense. O que você gosta de fazer nas horas livres? O que você gosta de fazer nas horas livres? Write a comment, write a sentence answering this question. What do you like to do in your free time? O que você gosta de fazer nas horas livres? Use verb gostar de. See that this verb requires a preposition, de, gostar de. Eu gosto de. And then the second verb, you can leave it in its infinitive form. Let's practice. Try to answer a sentence answering this question. I'll read some of your comments. Let me see. So, Camber is saying, eu gosto de fazer esportes nas horas livres. Excelente, excelente. Eu gosto de fazer esportes. Robert says, eu gosto de caminhar com meu cachorro. Muito bom, eu também. Muito bom. Maggie, eu gosto de aprender português nas horas livres. So here, Maggie, you don't need to say em, nas, just nas, okay? Because the preposition nas, it already includes the preposition em. Nas means em plus as. So, eu gosto de aprender português nas horas livres. Muito bom, Maggie. Eddie, eu gosto de ler nas noites. Muito bom. So here I would say, eu gosto de ler de noite, like in the evening, de noite. I think it would sound more natural. Eu gosto de ler de noite. Or à noite. Both ways are correct. Muito bom. Kyle, eu gosto de tocar contrabaixo. Perfeito, excelente. Eu gosto de tocar contrabaixo. John, eu gosto de falar com minha namorada em português depois de assistir às aulas. Here, John, you use the depois de. Every time we use a verb in Portuguese, right after a preposition, this verb is left in its infinitive form. So here you are going to say, depois de assistir, with IR at the end. Depois de assistir suas aulas, ok? Muito bom, John. Bronx, eu gosto de tocar contrabaixo. Excelente, muito bom. Daniel, eu gosto de cantar nas horas livres. Que bom, muito bom, Daniel. Michael, eu gosto de assistir TV nas horas livres. Perfeito. Que mais? So many comments, guys. Eu gosto de jogar voleibol com meu filho. Muito bom. Usually in Portuguese you just call it vôlei. Vôlei. Eu gosto de jogar vôlei com meu filho. Muito bom, Gabriela. Muito bom. Gerard, eu gosto de plantar bananeiras. It means like a handstand. Plantar bananeira, that's a very funny expression. So here you don't need the verb fazer because you already have the verb plantar. So you could just say, eu gosto de plantar bananeiras. Plantar bananeiras. Muito bom, Gerard. What else? Álvaro diz, eu gosto de jogar videogames. Muito bom! So, in Portuguese, it's not jugar, e sim jogar. Jogar. J-O-G-A-R. Jogar. Muito bom, Álvaro. Excelente, gente. Que mais? Muito bom. Então, vamos continuar. Let's move on so we have time to study everything. Unfortunately, I cannot read all your comments, but I'm very happy with all your comments and you guys are doing great. At the end of the class, I will have some time to answer your questions, okay? So write down your questions, and when I ask you if you have questions, then you can write all your questions. It's gonna be easy for me to see your questions if you write your questions when I ask if you have questions. I hope that makes sense. So let's continue. Now let's talk about pretérito perfeito. Pretérito perfeito. Okay, so I just saw one question here I'm going to answer. What is the difference between minha and minha? I don't think the word minha exists in Portuguese. It might be like a proper name, someone's name. In Portuguese, we only use the word minha, minha. However, the pronunciation sometimes can sound like minha when we speak fast. But the only word that is used as my or mine is a feminine word, right? It's a feminine possessive pronoun. It is minha, okay? The word minha does not exist, is not a pronoun. Muito bom. So moving on with the passado simples. So, okay, in the grammar it is called pretérito perfeito, but it actually just means a simple past, okay? It is our simple past, passado simples. It is used to talk about a very specific action in the past, something that happened in the past at a specific moment, ok? Por exemplo, ontem eu acordei cedo. Esta manhã eu caminhei no parque com meu cachorro, ok? Esta manhã eu caminhei no parque com meu cachorro. There are very specific actions at a specific times, okay? So this is when we use pretérito perfeito. That is why it is called perfect past tense, because it is very specific, okay? About a very specific time. So now I have one more question for you guys. I want you to practice how to use this past tense. I want you to tell me, o que você fez ontem? O que você fez ontem? What did you do yesterday? So tell me one thing that you did yesterday. Uma coisa que você fez ontem, using past tense. Okay, if you don't know how to use it, I'm gonna help you. You can just try to use the verb and I'm gonna help you, okay? Yes, it is simple to past simple, NZ. Yeah, so pretérito perfeito. So write a sentence and let me know. O que você fez ontem? What did you do yesterday? I'm gonna read some of your comments and give you some feedback. So here, so Larissa says, ontem eu visitei o meu tio. Perfeito, perfeito. Ontem eu visitei o meu tio. Excelente. Verb visitar, so past tense, eu visitei. O que mais? Ontem acordei e fui ao parque. Muito bom, William. So here we have the verb acordar in Portuguese in past tense ends with the EI. Okay, so the same way that I wrote here, you can see on the screen, right? Eu acordei with EI at the end. Acordei, acordei. There is a diphthong at the end. It's different from Spanish. In Spanish is acordé, acordé. In Portuguese, acordei, acordei. It is very subtle, but we do pronounce both vowels. Okay, this is very important. Acordei, acordei. It's not acordé, acordei, acordei. Okay, there is a diphthong. Muito bom, William. What else? So many comments, guys. Okay, I'm gonna try. Okay. Charlie says, eu tomei um banho e estudei português. Perfeito. Eu tomei um banho e estudei português. Excelente. Daniel, eu fui ao cinema. Muito bom. O verbo ir is an irregular verb. So, eu fui. I went. Muito bom. Vina, ontem eu falei com minha amiga. Okay, there is no tilde in this word minha, okay, just without the graphic accent. Ontem eu falei com minha amiga. Excelente, excelente. Juliette, ontem eu dancei em casa. Muito bom. Excelente, Juliette. Ontem eu trabalhei muito. Muito bom, Abraham. Excelente. Mercedes, ontem eu caminhei meu cachorro. So here, don't forget the verb caminhar. It has the NH. It's not caminar as in Spanish. It's caminhar with NH. NH-E-I. caminhei com. And the verb caminhar, when we're talking about walk a dog, we say walk with my dog in Portuguese. Okay, so ontem eu caminhei com meu cachorro. Ontem eu caminhei com meu cachorro. Muito bom. Henry. Ok. Ontem eu estudei um pouco de português. Excelente. So here, whenever we use the expression um pouco, we say um pouco de. Um pouco de. The preposition de. Eu estudei um pouco de português. Um pouco de português. Excelente. Eu bebi chimarrão. Excelente, Aburi. So the verb beber is a little bit different because it's ER verb. So the conjugation is actually bebi. B-E-B-I. Bebi. Bebi chimarrão. Ontem eu bebi chimarrão. Excelente. Bronx, ontem eu dancei Macarena. Excelente, muito bom. Muito bom, gente. Just one last. Ontem eu pensei... so many comments. Ontem eu pensei em fazer uma festa. Excelente, muito bom. Ontem eu comi sushi no meu restaurante favorito. Muito bom. So here the verb is comi. There is no E, just the I at the end. And there is this E sound. Eu comi sushi no meu restaurante favorito. So, restaurante is a masculine word. So we have to use the masculine preposition no. No meu restaurante favorito. Excelente, guys. So let's continue. Let's move on to the next verb tense, and then I'll come back and read more of your comments. So now let's talk about imperfect tense. This tense is more complicated, as I said before in the beginning, for English speakers, because there is no imperfect tense in English, so the translation is a bit complicated. I will talk about this tense in details tomorrow, but today let's just practice to see the difference, okay, between these 5 main tenses. So, pretérito imperfeito is used to talk about habits in the past. So, if you had a bad habit when you were younger, you are going to use imperfect tense to talk about it. We also use to describe things in the past, situations in the past. Remember that I told you that perfect tense is used to specific actions. If it is not a specific action, you are going to use imperfect tense. Okay? I'm going to give you 2 examples. Quando eu era criança, eu morava no Brasil. So when I was a child, I lived in Brazil. It was not a specific action, right? I lived in Brazil. There is no action. I was just living there. Quando eu era criança, eu morava em Brasil. Quando eu estava na faculdade, eu gostava de sair com meus amigos. When I was in college, I liked to go out with my friends. Então, every time we start a sentence with when I was, it is imperfect tense that you are going to use to complete the sentence, ok? Então, quando eu era criança, eu morava no Brasil. Quando eu estava na faculdade, eu gostava de sair com meus amigos. It is commonly used when you translate, when you say used to in English, or when you say I would do this or that, talking about the past, right? It is always imperfect tense in Portuguese. So let's practice. I would like to know onde você morava quando era criança. Onde você morava quando era criança? So let me know in the comments. Shannon, tudo bem? So Shannon is one of my students, guys. Tudo bom, Shannon? Ontem eu tomei café com minha amiga. Excelente, perfeito, excelente. So now let's shift to imperfect tense. I'm going to read your comments in imperfect tense. So Kathleen, eu morava no Brasil quando era pequena. Que legal, muito bom. Você morava no Brasil, perfeito. So in Portuguese, Kathleen, we write Brazil with S. Brasil with the letter S. Although the pronunciation is also a very Z, a strong Z sound. Brasil, Brasil. But we write it with S. The S sounds like Z between 2 vowels in Portuguese. Muito bom, what else? Quando era criança, morava na Itália. Perfeito, Paolo, muito bom. Quando eu era criança, eu morava na Suécia e a Islândia. So, em português, Islândia. Iceland, Islândia. Muito bom, Elsa, perfeito. Pablo, quando eu era criança, eu morava na Colômbia. Excelente, excelente. Matias, quando eu era criança... Ups, eu perdi. I lost your comment. Quando eu era criança, você morava na China. I read it, but I lost it. Ok. So, Michael. Oi, Michael, tudo bem? Quando eu era criança, eu morava no leste de Londres, na Inglaterra. Muito bom. Leste de Londres. Michael, we have to add a preposition there. No leste de Londres, na Inglaterra. Excelente, Michael. Peggy, eu morava na Venezuela quando era criança. Perfeito, excelente, perfeito. Barton, quando eu era criança, eu morava no Canadá. Excelente, muito bom. Michelle, quando eu era criança, morava em Montreal. Muito bom, Michelle. So here, a few details. Quando we write it with the letter Q em português, criança, we write it with the C cedilha, the C with the little thing below, as you can see here on the screen. E morava, we write it with V. Morava em Montreal. Très bien, Michelle. Alison, eu morava com meus avós. Perfeito, perfeito. Nádia, quando eu era criança, morava na Itália, nos Alpes. Excelente, guys. Perfeito. So now, oops, I moved the... Okay. So now let's continue because we have a lot to cover yet in this class. So excellent examples, guys. Now let's talk about future tense. So future tense in Portuguese, we have two main tenses that we commonly use. There is the futuro do presente, which is the regular future tense according to that we find in grammars. But we also have the futuro imediato, which is the future formed by the verb ir, to go, plus the main verb. So this second form, it is much more used in colloquial language. And the first one sounds a bit formal to us. You can use it. It is not too uncommon, but it sounds a bit formal. I'm going to give you examples. Amanhã eu assistirei a filme. Sounds formal to me. I never talk like that with my friends. Amanhã eu vou assistir a filme. Eu vou assistir. This is the most colloquial, informal way of using future tense in Portuguese. And it's very easy because you are always going to use verb ir in present tense, eu vou, plus, and the main verb, you just leave it in its infinitive form. So super easy to use, right? You don't have to think about conjugation. You just always conjugate the verb ir in present tense, and then you just add the main verb without thinking about conjugation. So now it's your turn. I want you to tell me o que você vai fazer amanhã. What are you going to do tomorrow? O que você vai fazer amanhã? See that I used futuro imediato to ask the question to. This is the most common way of asking this question, okay? O que você vai fazer amanhã? O que você vai fazer amanhã? Let me know in the comments. And while you write your answers, I'm already going to move on to the next, to the number 5, which is futuro do pretérito, and then I'm going to go back and read some of your comments, okay? So futuro do pretérito is also known as condicional. It's conditional tense. We use this tense usually to indicate a condition, as the name says, right? One action is conditioned to another action, so this will happen if that happens, right? This is common. This we also have in other languages. But we also use this a lot just to show politeness, you know, just to be kind, to talk to people in a more kind and polite way. Okay, so I'm gonna give you examples. Se eu pudesse, eu viajaria ao Brasil. So the first one is indicating a condition. So if I could, I would travel to Brazil. Se eu pudesse, eu viajaria ao Brasil. This first phrase here is actually imperfect subjunctive tense. We are going to talk about this at the end of the week. Don't worry about this for now, but you can use this structure exactly as it is. Se eu pudesse, and then you can add anything in the second tense, the second sentence using conditional tense. Okay, it works. If I could, I would do this, or I would do that. So it's commonly translated as I would plus verb in English. Okay? Second example, eu gostaria de beber uma água, por favor. So here I'm just being polite, right? I would like to. It's very similar to English actually, right? We also say, instead of say, I want this, you say, oh, I would like that, right? It's nicer. So we do that also in Portuguese. So I have a question for you, so you practice conditional tense. I'm gonna use the first example, and you can also just repeat the first part of the sentence, okay? Because we're not talking about subjunctive tense now, but you can just repeat the first part. Se eu pudesse, if I could, what did you do? Se você pudesse viajar amanhã, para onde você iria? Where would you go? Se você pudesse viajar amanhã, if you could travel tomorrow, where would you go? Let me know in the comments. So now I'm going to read some of your comments, guys. Excellent. So Margus says, eu vou assistir filme. Perfeito, Margus. Excelente. Bronx, se eu pudesse, eu sairia na rua. Excelente. I think we all think that way today. Rush Shamer, se eu pudesse, eu viajaria a São Paulo. Muito bom. Here you just say a because São Paulo is a gender neutral word. Cities in Portuguese usually are gender neutral. A São Paulo. So, Nicole says, se eu pudesse, viajaria para minha irmã na Gran Canária. Muito bom! Se eu pudesse, viajaria para minha irmã. Here we would say, viajaria para visitar, to visit my sister, para visitar minha irmã. Ou para ver, to see, para ver minha irmã. Muito bom, Nicole. What else? Marcela, amanhã eu vou cantar as músicas da Ivete Sangalo. Excelente! I love Ivete Sangalo, ela é ótima. Maggie, se eu pudesse, eu viajaria ao Brasil e a Porto Rico. Excelente! Margaret, não sei. Muito bom, o que mais? Se eu pudesse, Michele, oi Michele. Se eu pudesse, eu viajaria à Tailândia. Excelente, Michele. So here remember to use the preposition viajar, a, ou viajar para. Every time we are talking about direction, moving from one place to another, we use the preposition a or para, okay? Na means in, on, or at. So in this case, we do not use the preposition na, we use the preposition a or para. Muito bom, Michele, excelente. What else? Se a gente não estivéssemos na quarentena, eu viajaria para a Espanha no verão. Muito bom, Robert. So here, if you use a gente, you have to conjugate the verb in third person singular. So, se nós não estivéssemos, or se a gente não estivesse. Okay, so you have to agree the verb with the pronoun. Eu viajaria para a Espanha. Excelente, Robert. Sina, se eu pudesse, viajaria ao Brasil agora. Muito bom, eu também. Verônica, se eu pudesse, viajaria a Portugal. Muito bom. So here Portugal is also gender neutral, is an exception. So we just say a Portugal. A Portugal. Muito bom. Luggage Life, se eu pudesse, eu viajaria o mundo inteiro. So remember to use conditional tense here. Viajaria. Viajaria o mundo inteiro. Muito bom. Eu iria para o Rio. Muito bom. Motard too. Excelente. What else? Se eu pudesse viajar amanhã, eu definitivamente iria para São Paulo. Muito bom, Gui. Muito bom. Excelente. Muito bom, gente. All your examples are amazing. Unfortunately, I cannot read all your comments. Ok, I'll read a couple more. Omar, se eu pudesse sair da minha casa, eu iria com a minha namorada. I think you mean I would see my girlfriend, because if you say eu iria, you have to go somewhere. So eu veria minha namorada ou eu visitaria minha namorada. Muito bom, Omar. What else? Oh, okay, so Carl is asking me to translate the sentences. Sorry, I read all the sentences without translating. So, se eu pudesse, ok. Evan! Oi, Evan, tudo bem? How are you? Então, se eu iria ver minha amiga, I would see my friend. Muito bom, Evan, excelente, excelente. Se eu pudesse, eu viajaria meu amigo Adriano em Brasil. You mean visitaria? So you could say, here you could say, eu viajaria para visitar. I would travel to visit my friend. Or you could say, eu visitaria. I would visit my friend Adriano em Brasil. Muito bom, excelente, guys. All your examples are excellent. So we are reaching the end of the class. So think about your questions and let me know if you have questions. While you think about your questions, so now it's time to ask your questions. If you asked before and I didn't see it, you feel free to ask now. One important tip for you guys about verb conjugation is this website, conjugação.com.br is excellent. And if you don't know how to conjugate a verb, you just go there. I'm going to show you this this website really quick. So let's go here. So this is the website that I'm talking about, conjugação.com.br. So here you see the main verbs, the verbs that are more, that people look up more. Or you can just type here any verb you want, like falar, so to speak. Type here, and then you see all the conjugation. You see, so this is indicative mode, all the tenses that I just talked about. And then you have also the other modes. So this is very simple and easy to use and very helpful. So I highly recommend you use this tool for conjugating tenses. And I highly recommend that you download the website, the PDF, just coming back to the PDF. So you do these exercises to practice, okay? Because if you don't practice what you just learned, you just forget it. It's very important to practice. So go to the website and download, and you have also these exercises to complete. So I'm gonna show you one more time where you can download the this material. So you just go to school.speakingbrazilian.com. And here you'll find all my courses, either including my free courses and my paid courses. So if you go to school.speakingbrazilian.com, you'll find Brazilian Portuguese Week. Just click here and sign up, and you'll see all the PDFs for downloads and also replay of all the classes I'm going to teach this week. And also, one more time, a reminder about my courses. My courses are open for enrollment. I have a beginner's course, intermediate level course, 100% in Portuguese, and a workshop for those who need to review the beginner content before joining pre-intermediate level class. If you guys have any questions about my courses, let me know. I'm going to answer some questions now. So I think this Conjuga-me is also a very, very good one, Elvis. I also recommend this. I usually use conjugação.com.br, but Conjuga-me is also a good option. Muito bom. So let me know if you guys have questions either about my courses or the lesson. And one important thing that I forgot to tell you guys before is that I'm giving a discount, an early bird discount in all my courses until Wednesday. So if you sign up until Wednesday, you're going to receive this course at this discount. So if you really want it, if you're thinking about signing up, don't wait until the end of the week. Remember that just sign up before Wednesday at midnight, New York time, so you can receive the discount, okay? So let me look at your questions now. And we are going to do a raffle of a pronunciation coaching session in a minute. I'm just going to answer a few of your questions, and then teacher Patricia is going to make this raffle. So looking for questions. Okay, I'm just seeing if Patricia and Rob send me questions. Okay, so just give me. So Abraham is asking, how much is your advanced course? So the course costs, it is a membership course, so you pay a monthly fee. The basic membership is really not expensive at all. It's $35 a month. And you have access to one conversation class a week, plus one review class Q&A session with me a month. So 5 classes a month for $35 is super. It's very affordable, guys. And I also offer another option with which includes a one-on-one session with one of the teachers. This option, it is $95 a month, but this is for those who really need help with one-on-one, just you and the teacher. Okay, if you just want to practice conversation in a group class, the standard membership is excellent, and it is the one that I recommend for most people. Okay, so what else? Let me see if you guys have more questions. So okay, oh, this is not what I wanted to click on. So Alejandro, Virginia, what time are your courses? So each one of those courses, they have a lot of options, so you can choose from. So we have options during the week in the evening, and also earlier around 12 p.m. So go to the website. Are you asking, Alejandro, about the beginner's course or the intermediate course? I'm going to show you the times of the beginner's course. So when you go to my website and you click here, so this is the page for my beginner's course. So you can choose a class, a live class. You can choose to join one of these classes. It could be Tuesdays at 7, Wednesdays at 7, Thursdays at 12, or Sundays at 10. You can choose the best option for you. Okay, this is for the live classes only, but if you miss a class, you also have access to a replay on the website. Okay, so every time you miss a class, you can just watch a replay, and also there is a lot of content and lessons, recorded lessons on the website for you to study by yourself. So if you miss one class, is not a big problem, because you can always recover, you can always study and watch a replay. Okay, Alejandro? So Abraham is asking, is there a payment plan for young people, students that really want to get involved, but I'm not sure I can afford it in a bulk payment? Yes, I offer payment plan for all my courses. You can pay in 3 installments once a month. Okay, so you can choose the payment plan and pay in 3 installments. So that's good. You find that option at the end of the page on the courses page. Okay, what else? Let me see if I can see more questions, guys. So Joshua is asking, how can you tell the difference between permanent and temporary, such as era and estava? Well, this is basically the difference between the verbs ser and estar. So ser is a verb used for more permanent things, like to tell about your origin or long-lasting things, okay? So to say, where are you from? To say your long-lasting things like your occupation or profession, your marital status, we always use verb ser. And to talk about temporary things, short-term things, we use verb estar. So to talk about emotions, to talk about location that changes people's location, like I'm here now, later I'll be in the kitchen. So we use verb estar. So I have a video about verbs ser and estar on my YouTube channel. I recommend you take a look at it. So it is very important to pay attention to the difference between ser and estar. So this is, it was a very quick answer because it's actually a longer topic, but I know it can be confusing because in English there is just one verb to be. So let me look for more questions. So Danny is asking, como são as aulas? São via Zoom? So live classes, yes. So all live classes are via Zoom. You receive a link for class on the day of the class, like about an hour earlier, prior to class. So all students join in class with video and audio. It's super fun and you have a lot of opportunity to practice Portuguese, okay? But in addition to the live classes, you also have a lot of recorded class or recorded lessons on the website as a support, so you can study and review everything by yourself, and then in class you practice, okay? Muito boa pergunta, Danny. So can you say the website again? So look for the Patricia in the comments. Barton, she's sending all the links. So you can just go to my main website, which is speakingbrazilian.com, and you find all the courses that I offer there. Or go to school.speakingbrazilian.com. School.speakingbrazilian.com. Okay, you find all my courses there, the free courses and also the paid courses. School.speakingbrazilian.com. Muito bom. How long does it take to take the results of a placement test? I'm working a lot on this week because we are receiving a lot of placement tests because of the courses. So it should take about at least at most 24 hours now during this week. Okay, so if you do your placement test today, you should receive your result by tomorrow. We try to do this as fast as possible so you have time to sign up. But don't worry if you miss a date because of a placement test, just let me know and I'll help you with that. So Vicky is asking how long the course lasts. So the beginner's course lasts 12 weeks, 3 months. So you have one live class every week and one new module, a lot of lessons released every Monday. But you actually have access to this course for a lifetime. So you're never gonna lose the content. So you can just, the live classes, they are limited to 12 weeks. But if you just decide to take the course at your own pace, if you don't have time to take all the lessons before the end of the course, you can just do it and take the course at your own pace. The course is yours. You can take it and retake it as many times as you want. Okay, so there is a time limit for the live classes and in groups, so I need to organize that, right? But you always have access to the course. Okay, the course is yours. You can download it, so you can watch it offline. You never lose access to the course. Muito bom. Looking for more questions, guys. Does it make sense to take the intermediate and pre-intermediate class at the same time? Actually, it does. I have a lot of students who take 2 courses at the same time because they want both things. They want to review, but they also want to already join a more advanced class. It's totally up to you. If you want to try that, you are welcome to do that. A lot of students do that. And if you want to do that in the beginning and then you realize, oh, okay, I'm actually I like only this course. One very important thing, guys, that I haven't said is that I offer a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you try the course for a few weeks and you realize that it's not exactly what you wanted, just let me know and I'll send you a refund for that course. Okay, so if you want to sign up for both, you can sign up for both courses. And then if you decide, okay, I actually just like this one, I'll just refund you for the second one. Okay, and then you can just continue completing one course, or you can continue and finish both courses. Okay. Muito boa pergunta, Dawn. Looking for more questions, guys. So Brandon's asking, for the beginner's course, how long are the video sessions? Also, how many students per video session? I just want to see if there would be an equal time for students. We make sure to have an equal time for students. It's not, I don't let the class completely free. So every student has its own opportunity to speak. So the live classes last 1 hour, 55 minutes to 1 hour. And we bring a lot of material to review the lesson. So I recommend that you study the material on the website before the class if you have time. It's not mandatory, but it's just a recommendation. So in class, we review the most important points and practice, and the teacher will ask you individually to speak. Don't worry, it's not too difficult. It will follow your level, okay? And the teacher, for the beginners course, the teacher will be speaking English, a mix of English and in Portuguese. So it will be challenging, but it will not be difficult. You'll be able to follow the class easily, and all students have equal time to speak. Okay, so all students will have their turn to speak. It is not uncontrolled. You know, the teacher leads. There is always the teacher leading the class. So how many students? About 10 students, 8, 10, minimum, like from 8 to 12 students each class. Okay. Okay, what else? Looking for more questions, guys. Ok. Se puede tomar el curso básico teniendo dominio básico del inglés. Well, for now, I am planning to have a class exclusive for Spanish speakers, but for now I don't have that yet. So it is important to have a little bit of knowledge of English for the beginners course. So sim, eu recomendo que você tenha um conhecimento básico do inglês para fazer a aula, porque a explicação é em inglês, não em espanhol. But in the future, I'm planning to open a class exclusively for Spanish speakers. Okay, looking for more questions, guys. Thank you so much for joining me today and for asking all these questions. For the pre-intermediate course, is it possible to add one-to-one? Yes, you can add one-on-one classes. If you go to the website, you see there is an option that includes 3 sessions, and you can also buy this on the side. Just email me and I'll let you know how to buy private sessions on the side. So guys, if you have, I'll start to finish this session because yeah, I don't want to stay here too long. So if you have more questions, you can always email me. So if you have questions about my courses, email virginia@speakingbrazilian.com, virginia@speakingbrazilian.com. Email me your questions. I'll be happy to help you decide if you want to join one of my courses. And don't miss my next classes. Now it's raffle time. So Patricia is gonna choose, one of you is gonna make a raffle and choose one of you to win a coaching session, pronunciation coaching session with me. So I'm just gonna take a look and see who she pick. Let me see, just give me 1 second. So, okay, so this is the person, this is the winner, William Shevchuk. William Shevchuk. Can you write her name in the comments, Patricia? So William, you are a winner. Yeah. So you want a pronunciation coaching session with me. Now, William, please email me. So because I cannot contact you via YouTube, just email me with your and let me know that you won the raffle, and I'm going to send you instructions about this coaching session, pronunciation coaching session with me. Okay, so William, don't forget to email me about the coaching session. Let me see if there is one last question. Rob sent me a question. Okay, so I can see, let me see if I wish I could look for comments. So just give me a second, guys, just looking for more last questions so I can read. So Yarko says, I've been doing the beginners course and Speaking Brazilian Academy at the same time. Highly recommended if you already know and understand a bit. Thank you, Yarko. So Yarko is doing the 2 courses and he's great, an excellent student. Muito bom, Yarko. So let me see if you have more. I think I answered all these questions that you sent me. Okay, so guys, I think that's it for today. Thank you so much for joining me. Don't miss my next classes. So tomorrow I'll be here again, 2 p.m. New York time. And tomorrow we'll be talking about 2 past tenses. Pretérito perfeito e pretérito imperfeito. Past perfect and imperfect tense. This is a very important topic to talk about, especially for English speakers. I'm going to help you how to understand how to use these 2 tenses, okay? So I hope I'll see you tomorrow. Até amanhã. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Beijo grande. Até amanhã, gente. Tchau, tchau.